What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. I got another hour for you all, maybe a little bit less. I'm gonna go through some of these clips I keep talking about. Got this Belgium US game in the background. It's funny. Finally using StreamYard, but I tell you, I swear I don't be using StreamYard, man. But I'm gonna go through some of these clips for you all, and then we're gonna talk about like one other thing, and then I'm gonna be done. So come in here. We are on StreamYard. I do need to do another thing, bring in people in here. Doing lives again. Make yourself seen once you come in here. I think I got this one. All right, so let's jump right into this. One thing I want to show you all that's really interesting. Let me jump in here. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, let me share the link because y'all, I get it. I've been usually I don't go. I mean, this is literally my third time going live, so I usually don't do this. I get that. Let me know what y'all think about the thumbnail when y'all clicked on. If y'all like that. In fact, let me see if I can pull the image file because I got another one that's more. Let me take this down. Yeah, that was so basically this is just me playing around. I told you all I was gonna start doing posts. I told you I was gonna start doing posts on the Patreon. I may do this on the Discord too, but these are not gonna be like things exclusive to pay. So I may spread this around, but I told you I was gonna do posts, kind of like being like a feed. Feed. Yeah, I went and got like pizza, which I regret. That pizza place is garbage, very bland. The one right by my house, but you gotta try it out. You don't know if you don't try, right? And yeah, so it's bland, blah blah blah. And then I left it on mute. So I went live. I was like live for another like 10 minutes. So I just want shout out to what you call it that gave me a $20 on the Cash App. I want to hit Mr. Miller. Want to put your name out there because I know a lot of y'all don't like that. So I decided to you know come back out and do another one. Give y'all some stuff y'all can listen to and stuff like that. This is actually was done. I did this with AI, and I did. You'd be surprised how fast I did it. So this is like the top scorer in on Team USA. This dude is Nigerian. He is technically Nigerian, UK citizenship, but his mom they wouldn't let his mom leave when he was born. Like before, like he got born, so he ended up getting born here. So people can technically say he's an anchor baby, but he ain't really technically an anchor baby because I mean, at least not for here. At least not for here. So there is that. Shit. I got this one of them standing desks. They keep throwing on TikTok. I went and got it for Amazon for like $40. It actually works very well. But I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people don't say. I'm short, and this standing desk is if you're like this is not it. I'm short, and this is barely working for me. But anyway, there's a couple things I want to show you. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do some movies because one of the posts that I've been seeing, let me see if I can find it back on Instagram. One of the posts I've been seeing is people talking crap. You got white folks talking crap, saying and England did beat Mexico. I'm gonna tell you something. This is gonna mess up my thing, but probably, but this never gets old. This is so funny. They keep doing this over and over and over again, and I swear this never gets old. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. This never gets old. That's like the new anthem for when people get eliminated for something. Like for real, for real. But yeah, let me see if I can pull this post up. They didn't change Instagram so much, man. I can't even see like all the stuff I saved. Let's be get to that crap quick. All right, all right. I be saving a lot of stuff on Instagram, yo. Oh yeah, that's another one I want to show. I'm gonna show that. This is interesting. Right here. Oh yeah, this. Dang, we just got two people in here, so a lot of y'all ain't. We got 15. I guess they was like deuces. They'll catch it on a replay, so I ain't even sweating it. I ain't even sweating it. Image file. Where's this at? I know this was. I just saved it. So basically, in the post, they're talking about the movie Obsession. Oh, that's what the issue is. Okay. I know how we're gonna deal with that. So they're talking about the movie Obsession, which has been a good movie. It's had a phenomenon. The Session is already made 400 $400 million. Already made $400 million on a less than $1 million budget. So probably like with marketing and everything, $20 million. So it's probably one of the most profitable movies in the last like 10 years, like really, as far as how profitable it is. Very good movie. I saw it. It was actually really good. Um, okay. So they're talking crap. You got white people in the comment section. It's some. It's not all of them, but it's some talking about, oh, Obsession with an all white cast has made 379. Now it's made 400 million. They're talking about Sinners had a $990 million budget and made 370. First of all, Sinners is more artsy. Sinners is not a movie that is made to really be top in box office. So the movie overperformed. You can say the same thing with Obsession as well. Obsession as well. So 370 million is nothing to sneeze at. It's absolutely nothing to sneeze at. And Obsession definitely could get to like 450 million. It's definitely going to do well. It's definitely going to do very, 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 very well when people can just download and watch from the TV. That the movie is kind of made for that anyway. So I mean, and somebody told me, let me see, what ethnicity is the Obsession director? Yeah, he's white. I don't know why people keep trying to say he's albino. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But anyway, anyway, so this is, yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all checking it. Y'all 15 people in here right now. But this is why you don't talk crap. This is why you don't talk crap. So you see that, right? So let me, at the end of the day, yeah, an all white cast versus a black and white cast. When you all can pull from all white people, and then the movie's going to be promoted more globally. And to be fair, most of Obsession's money has been made in the United States. It made only 158, but the reality is that that stuff can be promoted more globally. But here's the thing: you can have that, and we're gonna play games like that. You can absolutely have that. You all can have that. However, here's another thing: Michael Jackson. So this is Michael's biopic of a real person, not a fictional story, which is harder. And Michael was made for 155 million, so you can say 200 million with budgeting and everything. And Michael is 9 million. This is actually what I want to do. It's literally 8.6 million away. It's in his last probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. After July is done. And if you haven't seen it, you should see it. If you have not seen the movie Michael, definitely see the movie Michael. If you I've seen it once, it was great. If you got kids or people you want to see, or older, or like a parent or grandparent, whatever, see it, because Michael is less than 9 million. Yeah, no. Obsession is a good movie. I'm not like, so that the woman that you saw in Obsession is like white and Hispanic. She streamed. The dude that actually directed it, a white dude, had a YouTube channel. Has a YouTube channel, had 1 million. It does like crazy stuff. I don't watch the channel. I never watched, somebody to send it to me. But it's for people that want like more original stuff, more stuff that is like less BS. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. It had Z's in it. Actually had a pretty good message, and how it was delivered was actually really, really good. Um, and it was good. It was definitely good. It was definitely good, and I'm actually glad for its success. That's actually good for telling Hollywood what people will see. And it's one of those movies that it lends itself to a lot of conversation, but it wasn't like bad, like the controversial conversation. And for a horror thriller, did a very good job. That dude did a really good job for that to be kind of like his first kind of at bat for director. That's really good. He really cooked on that. It's like some James Wan type stuff when he did horror thriller. It's yeah, it's like Don't Blink. It's very good. Not hating on that, but you got people in there that want to make shit stuff about race, about them saying they're superior because they're insecure as hell, right? So um so people are sitting here, because I'm in the movie section, and and this wasn't even like in the movie sector of social media. This was just, Hollywood, a lot post this, people post it, right? And then you got people in the comment section talking stupid. So I just said, hey, the Michael Jackson movie, which is of a real person, a person you all tried to sabotage, because they're not going to make anybody that was actually accused, if they really truly believe that he was dealing with, he's a PDF and he was dealing with minors, they wouldn't have made a movie about him. They just wouldn't. They would not, a black person. Now they did it with Elvis, but we're not even going to talk about that. But they wouldn't have did that, right? Michael is literally less than 9 million away, 8.6 million away, and it's got like this month, right? And it was at 778, which means people went over the fourth and saw this movie. Great. It's gonna hit $1 billion. No biopic, no music biopic has ever hit $1 billion. No music biopic has ever hit $1 billion. And yeah, no biopic. I think it's already the best music biopic to ever do it. By the way, here's something that's very significant about this movie. No, Ray didn't hit a bill. Ray didn't hit a bill. Ray in 2004. Ray did no, Ray only did 100. Hold on, let me see if I'm looking at the right one. Yeah. Yeah, with Jamie Foxx. Ray only did 124 million. What are you talking about? Ray only did 124 million. So right now, Michael is already the number one biopic. Oppenheimer did 975, which is insane. Yeah. So it's the number one bio movie. It's the number one bio movie, not just music bio. It already has that. To have a B in front of it is going to be something to submit Michael Jackson's legacy. Also, that's a lot of money. It's going to go to the Jackson estate, by the way, which is a W, because the Jackson estate, I think they sold their catalog and stuff like that. So this is something that's going to definitely go to the estate, which is great. To be told, I would definitely like to see a bio on Janet, but that is for another time. But it's funny because they'll sit here and they got all this money, all white people globally, and this is the impact that this dude had. By the way, here's what's insane about this. Here is what is insane about this. Is not the insane part. Here's what's insane about this. When you scroll down, you can see when you scroll down, you can see like all the countries that saw it. Look at China. Look at China. So there's China, right? There's China. $10 million. China only wanted to do $10.5 million. Here's why that's significant. Because a lot of times, if China has a really, really high number, China keeps a lot of that money. They keep a lot of that money. So this means this is actually what the studio got, which means this is actually what the family's gonna get. So that's great. This movie is about to hit $1 billion only with China's 10 million. It's possible this movie might get, if it gets $1.11 billion, so 1,011,000,000, that means it would have got a billion without China's money. So the reality is this crap. Belgium scored. that Yeah, so biopics aren't really like, look, here's the thing about biopics, dude. Biopics typically don't make money anyway. And Ray Charles was big like a long time ago. So you got to remember, man. Like you got to be honest. The millennial generation is the largest generation. We remember Michael. The Z's don't remember Michael. The Z's don't really remember Michael as far as when he was alive. Or let me see. Yeah, Michael Jackson died in 2009. That means the oldest Z's would have been 10 years old. The oldest Z's, so Z's, they kind of barely remember Michael. Millennials still, I was out of high school and Michael, we still remember that. Ray Charles, um, the budget for Ray Charles is only 40 million anyway. So it made its money back. But it wasn't meant to be that. Ray Charles was really meant to be a Oscar push for Jamie Foxx. That's kind of more what that was based on. The movie just needed to make its money back. So I want y'all to really, so it's not, it is what it is. But and yeah, you're right. I don't think Prince would do nowhere near as well as what this did, but I think Prince would do better than Ray. Because I think there's interest there. And you still have the boomer generation that would definitely want to see that, and the extra generation. But yeah, I'm gonna get the Supergirl in a second. But my point is, if you ever see this stuff on social media, just keep in mind, ChatGPT is your friend, and you can have a movie. These movies do what they do. Paranormal Activity did a lot of money with a lot of money done. So you can have, okay, Sinners did what it did. Sinners actually won awards. Is Obsession going to win awards? It could, but Obsession isn't as good as Sinners. It's not. It's a great movie, but it's actually a really good movie to see with a chick too. It is. And that's one of the reasons why I think Obsession is doing good with its new thing. But the thing is, it's not about that. Like, it's not about this thing, it's you versus me. The fact that you're even making that argument, and by the way, the main actress sitting there, she's white and Hispanic, and cool. I'm glad she got put on. She's been on different TV shows here and there doing little work. This might be her breakout role. I'm happy for her. And she's a nice person. She's a nice person. She does streaming. She was hustling, doing Twitch and stuff, playing games. Like, you can follow her right now because she'll do that. She wasn't getting roles like that. You get a lot of these kind of stuck up, Jenna Ortega is all right, but he's stuck up. I think I'm too cool for school, like Latin chicks, because they want to, and this chick is half white, half Mexican. So whatever. But when you see these people, these losers in the comment section talking crap, it's like, yo, what's up? Because if I go look and see what Elvis did, Elvis or what Walk the Line did, Elvis only did 288. Let's just keep that all the way real. So let's keep that all the way real. And it's not like this budget was like insane for Michael Jackson. To be honest with you, if you wanted to do a second movie, you actually probably could get away with that. So this is just something I want y'all to keep in mind. Um, you all said you wanted to see yeah, so as far as Supergirl, yeah, so they're making it so I can only do one screen share. See, you know what this would be crazy? This would be crazy if we can do like multiple screen shares. That would be cool. Right. Yeah, so Supergirl has done this is crazy. Supergirl Supergirl is only done $99 million worldwide in its domestic opening. That is it. That is insane. That is insane. I want you to understand this is on 4th of July. This is on 4th of July. I want you to understand that. That means nobody saw this movie. No, in fact, this is its second week. It's even worse. This is its second week. This is its second weekend. Its first weekend it did 37 million. Its second weekend it did 886. Oh man, that is what the yo. The Flash didn't do that bad. The Flash didn't do that bad. Joker 2 didn't do that bad. That that is insane. Because I'm just now kind of looking at this with you. First things first. What does this say? Number one, women didn't come out to see this movie on any of the weekends. Women didn't come out to see this movie at all. Women didn't come out to see this movie. Parents didn't come out to take their daughters to this movie. That's what this means. I'm actually watching a documentary dude called Film Comics Explained is going through it right now and going through the movie. And it's like Captain Marvel 1 and 2 did much better than this. This might be this is going to be an historically bad movie. You cannot blame COVID on this. I think Black Widow did better than this. Black Widow came out in 2021 and Black Widow did a domestic opening of $80 million. and Black Widow ended up making $379 million. And remember, Black Widow released on I think HBO Max. No, it released on Disney Plus. That's how bad this is. And I'm sorry, that actress, look, man, this is gonna sound mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't have a personal issue with this chick. I really don't. And I don't want to be mean. This chick looks trans. I gotta say it. I gotta be honest. This chick looks trans. She does. She has this look where she look like she just has a look on like like here's the thing, she just doesn't naturally look like that, but she makes these faces that she looks trans, yo. I'm not trying to be mean. It looks like you're putting a dude there and she just had a pretty good transition. It does. And if you don't believe me, what's that chick? I forget anyway. I don't even care. What's the chick that played in X-Men 3? She played the chick that ran through walls and stuff. That chick transitioned into a male. Look at nah, she looks worse. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, even as a dude. But yeah. And so this is the of all the women, because there was a lot of women vying for this role. This was an iconic role. You pick somebody that basically is on some, we're going to go as far away from looks as possible, not understanding that females care about looks too. Maybe they care about other things, but females are not in the business of going to watch ugly women when it comes to movies either, especially when they're younger. Elliot Page, Ellen Page. Yeah. And so she has this look like from like an 80s show. Like Gremlins, I don't know. It's and she's not like hideous at all. It's just it's faces that she makes, and it's like you're an actress, so they should have. You shouldn't even got to this point without being able to correct it. You should already been filtered out. So it's almost like they just picked a regular girl and said we can put anybody as Supergirl because we're gonna make a decision. And honestly, the way that I look at this is this shit is you want to talk about what misogyny is. You want to talk about not respecting women, like seriously. And I'm not trying to just make a reverse argument just to make a reverse argument, but this is very lazy. This is very lazy. This is very haphazard. It's like of all the people you had to pick, you picked her for what? And this is somebody that's going to be in this universe for a minute. And look, I was saying good things about this movie leading up to it because I thought it's like, yo, you got Lobo, you got her, you can make this work. I don't know how Gunn, and to be fair, Gunn didn't write this, but it's still under his watch. It's still his movie. You didn't write it, but you cleared it. And basically, it's somebody to say, how would James Gunn write a movie? And James Gunn, because it was written in a way that he would like, because this is like Guardian of Galaxy style, and that's James Gunn's problem. James Gunn has the same tone of everything. And so, you know, this movie wasn't written for men. I want somebody to tell me why a male would see this movie without you saying that the fact that I have to tell you to see this movie is the problem. You can't say that because women didn't see this movie. Women didn't see this movie. So this movie doesn't appeal to women. So if you're saying that men should be empathetic with women, then this movie doesn't appeal. And it wasn't made for men. You can't tell me it was. So you all make these movies and you can't tell me who these movies are for. You can't tell me who these movies are for. Let me tell you how crazy this is. What's that movie that James Gunn did, Brightburn? Brightburn was made in 2009. This is not his first movie. Brightburn only made 33 million. How much of a budget? Brightburn was on a $6 million budget. That's actually not bad. That movie made money, and that movie was gonna make money on the the Google Play and stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like you when as soon as I saw that she was wearing a jacket and she was wearing like a suit that was like swallowing her up. I knew what it was. It's like, oh, you one of these. I'm not a girl. I'm not a girl. I shouldn't have to do this. Well, you can do a lot of things. You shouldn't be an actress. That's what I can see if you're an athlete doing that, like in the WNBA or something. But this, I'm not a girl. I don't have to appeal to men. I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of lesbian women. There's a lot of women, and women, there's a reason why if you go on YouTube, makeup is one of the best things. That it's not just a social construct that people keep wanting to say. Men or women are fundamentally different, and our roles have evolved in order to adapt to the world in different ways because we're biologically different. We're way Men and women are far more biologically different than like other. You got people that'll sit here and say other races are different, but then try to act like men and women are the same. No, they're not. And so this is bad. And I'm not one of these people that, obviously, I don't, rage bait to for views. Lord knows I could when it comes to like a movie channel. But yo, the white boys, nerd rotted, all them racist white boys, oh, they gonna have fun with this. I'm not gonna lie, I typically don't like listening to them, typically. But I actually might go watch. Well, Geeks and Gamers is usually slick about it. Nerd Rotted is kind of in your face with it. Nah, Nerd Rider isn't Legion, man. He's not that bad. But I might go check out, go on incognito and go watch some of their, because I already know they're probably they're praising white Jesus for this. It's like, oh yes, I was gonna leave it alone. I was gonna see what happened. It's like, oh no, the people have spoken. Ain't no women watching this. Oh, I am about to get paid. They be like, I am blessed. I get paid to shit on this. I am about to shit on this so hard. And the fact that other Superman movie was relatively successful, and it wasn't like, the women were like dolled up. I actually think that Lois Lane is actually pretty decent. They kind of rig it to a more older version, even though that Lois Lane actually looks older than Superman, real talk, but whatever. Yeah, it's not good. Well, the good thing is USA got on the board. USA wasn't on the board. USA was on the board, so they scored again. So I don't know what's going on with that goalie. Yeah. Oh, this is one of these. This is so bad. Like this, but this is so. And the thing is, you like people typically go to the movies on the 4th of July. Usually, I'm gonna go to Beyond the trailer. Nah, she said it was bad. She did say it was bad, but you could tell she didn't try to sugarcoat it. But she ain't about to just dunk on it and do windmills. You already know. Like when I gotta do, like, Phil Comics Explained is really good. He's really good. And when he he's really good at really breaking it down from an artsy standpoint. When he does a movie this early, oh man, you already know. So it's, oh man, they are going. And here's the funny thing about it: with X-Men 97 coming out, and you see like what they did with Jubilee, what they did with it's not like Jubilee, Psylocke, what they did with Storm. You can't even the Adventures with Superman cartoon as well. The Adventures Man with Superman cartoon is very popular with the young people, and a lot of folks that remember the old DC United. They actually, it's not their thing, but they like where they like the Kara in that one. That's what makes it crazy. If you look at the Kara and look at how they did the Kara, and by the way, she's not the way they do the suit and everything. She has pants. So she has the dress, she has the skirt, but she has pants under it. So they can't say, oh, it's for the male gay. They can't say none of that. And then the way Kara met him in the show, she was like on that kind of Zod Krypton stuff. And she's kind of more of a tomboy a little bit, but still kind of girly. The way they bring her together with that voice action and all of that is very good. And it meets those, and even those chicks that talk shit can't talk shit. It meets all of those expectations they talk about, and dudes actually like that. So you can't run and say, oh, it's just because men don't do it, because a lot of dudes have a lot of good things. I haven't heard anything negative. And the funny thing is, Jimmy Olsen's black in that show. And so she likes Jimmy. I know these white boys don't like that. I don't watch the show constantly. I know yeah, but they don't but she likes Jimmy, and the way they did, like what he said, he kind of rejected her, but he rejected her because he didn't think he was good enough for her. He wanted to explore. She was the first person he met. And the way they handled that, very good. Very good, right? Very good. I mean, the show is solid for kids, and it's a good show. But the thing is, so you can't run to all of these like, oh, it's just men, blah blah blah. You can't run to that. This was bad, and she was a bad pick. She was a bad pick. I don't know who the fuck this movie's for. Even women sell this to women, other than empowerment. If you want to try to empower women, first you need to make good movies, because you need to condition the audience that these movies are going to be good. What is the best the top woman's movie that was like centered around females? Barbie. Barbie was girly. Even with the men obviously service that character, but the men, they still had the men operating like Ken dolls, whatever, whatever. The point is, the women have already shown you what they want to see. They already shown you what they'll support, because that was women that supported that. That pretty much gave you a complete ceiling on what the women. That gave you a complete ceiling. That gave you a complete ceiling on hold on one second. That gave you a complete ceiling on what the women could do. So yeah, that's horrible. All right. That is so hilariously bad. All right, what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go. Okay. Now we're gonna go through a couple of these clips that I was talking about. He said her they chocolate good too. He said Belgian waffle is, yeah, they're known for that. So Belgium is like a German country. A lot of people don't realize that. Germany is just a central German country, but there's like satellite German national states, and Belgium's one of them. So I mean, but a lot of them mofos don't like Trump. Yeah, that was bad. I don't know what they was smoking with that. Comment nerd said the movie Supergirl aim at. Well, I mean, even with the match in the comics, if you execute it right, you don't want to necessarily do beat for feet for the comics anyway. So that's not really the issue. The issue is, he said, "Oh, the Arrowverse Supergirl." No, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her at all, because that show was actually very feminist. That you talk about Melissa Benoist, but she was good, but she had a good, more classical Supergirl look. But I'm talking about a cartoon that's new. Yeah, the third episode is good. He said Waffle Warriors. All right, let me bring this up and get this latter part going. Bring all these up. And by the way, some of these are gonna have videos I agree with. They like, cause like I said, we may start with the one I don't agree with because I know y'all not here.
What are you saying?
Oh yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Just so you can get a. I mean, I don't be watching cartoons like that. It's just some so like I forget the show on Amazon Prime. I mean, it's just certain stuff I catch. When I catch it. He said, "Y'all heard Jonathan Majors starring?" And yeah, I heard that. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Majors. My thing is Tyler Perry needs to throw Jonathan Majors a bone. He really does. He said you pick USA to lose this round. I mean, hey, if you put money on it, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. I mean, it's definitely. He said the goalie is trash. Yeah, the goalie. Yo, you lucky you a goalie here because he messing up. They may get their itch together the first half, but this is still the first half. So, but just so you know what I've been talking about. I don't know why these are faded. Just so you see what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this.
Yes! I was sitting up there, I was fucking crying, I fucking laughed, I ran over, and what did you do? You stood up there and you fucking laughed! Like, no! What the fuck are you standing up for? Hey, sit the fuck down!
Like, this is not an ugly chick. I'm not even gonna front. But you saw that. You saw that. You saw what she did. And this isn't just a clip. This is actually somebody that supports her. But so this is somebody that supported what she did. She ended up having to apologize for this. They said the production made her apologize because they like want to reset because this chick is wilding out. Because they're like, if you do this with somebody else, somebody might put hands on you. Like they're like, we're not about to have this show where you do this to a female and they start fighting. Yeah, I know it's a prediction. Look, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a soccer person, so I'm not like, oh man, fuck you, man. Oh man, you're cool, man. No, I don't give a fuck. I know, like you said, it's a prediction. That's what I said. I can see why somebody with the money might do that. So, that's just to give you an example. And like I said, she's not an ugly chick, but her personality is very ugly. She's obviously a swirler, a divester. She's somebody that even though her dad, who's an NBA player from Georgia, got with a black woman, this is what they produced. A chick they fundamentally don't want to be black, which I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate if her mom really don't, she got with a nigga who's an NBA player, but she would have got with white. I don't know. But this chick is on some. I want white boys. I'll deal with a mixed mulatto black dude. He looks good. She's yeah. I mean, she's not an ugly chick.
What are you standing for?
She's not an ugly chick. But the reality is, at the same time, she's not a chick that's like, oh my, she's not Iman either. She's not Iman either. So it's kind of like you think you all that and blah blah blah. White dudes are like these dudes are seeing you do all of this, and dudes can make an assessment on how this dude is moved based on what they see, and see this is the divestors pick, right? So this is was dealing with you and all this anger. Look, you got a father and a mother. You got a father and a mother. You work for your father's foundation, which by the way does good work for black people. I can't even hate. Dude's done a good job as a basketball player for like I think 9-10 years, and he ended up going and playing overseas to get money. Can't hate. Can't hate. But you shouldn't have this animosity towards black men. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Your dad is there. He clearly picked a dark-skinned woman. He's a dark-skinned man. You shouldn't have this kind of natural built-in animosity, because you're not going to tell me you just date black men like that. So you can't tell me black men built it up. You can't tell me that.
Yes. I was sitting up there.
Now, keep in mind, she came all the way over on the other side just to walk down. Now, remember when I told you that dudes get up in order to, move their arms around? Remember where I told you who he was sitting next to? Now, if he would with her talking that crap, if he would have been moving around, he would have hit them by accident. We as black people know exactly why he did what he did. He did not get up there and walk over to her. He didn't even walk to the halfway point. He took a couple of steps forward. That way he can have. We know when we talk sports, when we talk about LeBron better than Kobe, when you dumbasses keep wanting to make the argument that Kobe's or LeBron's better, when we're making these arguments, we know how we are. We know. And this chick, and this is, again, this is a female that's pro her that did this edit. Before that, she's talking about why he's standing up. She would have never raised up on another race of dude like that. She would not have. The sad thing is she ain't that. She's not. That's not her issue. Her issue is not that she's masculine. Her issue is she operates on a racial hierarchy. And the racial hierarchy, this is how these chicks view. It's not that she's masculine. It's not that she's masculine, because she's not like this with the other dudes. She's only like this with him, even though she is attracted to him. This is that Cleon stuff that BGS is talking about. If BGS actually took the time to watch the show, if he actually had time to do it, because I know he's got better things to do, he would break this stuff down. They don't do this. This is why black men need to not accept this, because they don't do now. Now, honestly, KC is in a situation. This is a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. That is what this situation is. If KC does anything but what he's doing, then he's gonna look like the bad guy. He looks like the bad guy already, because these women are willing to lie. Men are generally not willing to lie. Women, we actually call it how we see it. Women are willing to lie. And what makes it so bad is when you hear some of these women talk. Now, I just want to give you some context. Well, I mean, my point is when we know what it is. It's a difference between somebody walking up to you and you sitting down, and somebody coming up because they want to, be more animated with their hands. We instinctively know. Yeah, that's KC. And KC doesn't.
Fucking crying, I fucking left. I ran over, and what did you do? You stood up there and you fucking laughed. Like, no. What the fuck are you standing up for?
And the thing that makes it so bad too is when other dudes do stuff similar to this, even the light-skinned dudes, she never has that reaction. It is a completely different person. And everybody sees that. Yeah, and this is, and again, you can see by the end, if you've seen TikTok, when they do this, whoever clipped this together, I think I got it from a female, they was clapping at this. This is what they want to do. Now, real talk, if a man sits there and say, yo, what are you doing? And then this is when women initiate contact, and then we proceed to basically regulate, aka jack them up or something. This is when they say they were abused. That's how that works. That's how that works.
Hey, sit the fuck down.
Like all that shit, that's insane. And I bet you first of all, the more production was watching that, and then they see people talking about that, and they see a lot of women are looking at that like that's crazy. Black women, it's like, yo, that was crazy. And it's like, yo, I would love for somebody to ask her, what were you thinking? Oh, he stood up. Okay. He didn't stand up over you. He didn't even come towards you. These are the women that are afraid of black men, by the way. She's 23 years old. KC's 20. They're 23 years old. I want you to think about that. Like, sit the fuck down. I'm sunning you. This is a suburban bitch. This is a private school bitch. This bitch was in private school. This ain't no hood bitch. This chick was probably in Sandy Springs or some shit like that. Ask me how I know. My uncle actually lives in Sandy Spring. I didn't say that's why, I identify with Glenn and Cameron actually. This is not a chick. This is a chick. She shouldn't, like, that's not how Trinity wasn't even like, it's one thing to talk shit in your seat, but to get up and roll up on a man like that, this is somebody that clearly has seen bigger men. And Casey isn't short because she's not short. Yeah. So I just, because it's one thing for me to talk about it, but I know my audience doesn't watch this shit. So I know you all are not, y'all are hearing what I'm saying, but it's one thing to see it. And again, if you look at the whole clip, I promise you, I'm not like, this is like a clip to make it look bad. When you look at the clip, they're talking out of pocket. Dude is defending himself, and then he stands up in order to talk. And then she's like, "Why does he stand up?" So the act of standing up to her was an act of aggression. Nobody registered as that because he didn't stand up and start walking over. See, women are trying to portray this like he basically walked up on her, and as the Z's call it, she walked him down. No, he said what he had to say. He was sitting down, and it's like putting him in a submissive position. The only reason you can do that is because of respectability politics. He's on the show. He's a black man. You are literally using race to your advantage. Because the reality is, had you walked up on a white man and a white man would have got mad at you, people would have got mad and he got mad. But then a lot more people be asking you, well, you shouldn't just walk up on a man like that and he's not being aggressive towards you. Anyway, now let's go through some of these clips. We're going to go through the first one that I don't agree with before we get into some of them. Let me go through, get rid of some of these first that I do agree with.
The timeline for y'all, because it's so evident that there is a clear, like, damn near corporate hit job going on for Casey. Anaya's favorite phrase to shame Casey and to manipulate the fan base is to say that she's always chose him. Here's proof of Anaya standing behind.
And by the way, don't judge the dude in the bonnet. He's a cool dude. It is what it is at this point. Dude's actually really good on TikTok. He's actually really good.
Casey or Sincere's door.
And he talks about sports as well. He's very good.
Instead of Casey's leaving Casey by herself. The day that Corbin arrived, Anaya did a challenge with him, closed the door in the photo booth, I believe, and started kissing on him and letting him rub all on her. Here she is saying that she wants to explore.
And by the way, this is that two-faced stuff that we talking about. You have a certain version of you when you're with dude. And keep in mind, she does like KC. But the issue is KC is a darker complected man. And KC is brown skin. KC is about what Kelly Rowland is. She's darker than him. But the problem is these chicks, because they have a color complex, they project that shit out. No, he's not Gen Z. He's a millennial. I can't even act like he ain't. He's like 33, 34.
With Corbin because he's everything a girl could want. She wanted Corbin so bad that she interrupted the chat that Corbin was having.
This fool don't usually wear bonnets.
With Trinity just to get his attention. But she had to find out that
this chick is straight out of the 80s with how she dates. This chick dates like somebody in the 80s. And it's obvious that you're color struck. It's obvious.
Corbin didn't want her. She so desperately wanted to be with Corbin, she told him that she was her and KC were open.
Yeah, well, it's 53 minutes. I still got time.
Right? Super important here. Because while she's exploring with Corbin and telling him that she's open with KC and that they don't have nothing to worry about, he don't have nothing to worry about, here she is emotionally manipulating KC for just talking to Soul. Having a chat with her. That's it. No.
Soul is the light skin. Soul is the light skinned chick. So when I show you this chick, it's gonna be funny. Cause you've heard Game Changer talk about that Maya chick that he likes. Apparently, yeah, she looks like that. So this is the Soul chick. She all right, yeah. Oh no, Dr. Dizzle, you wouldn't be on the show. They got rid of all the black dudes. Any dude darker than KC, they just got rid of. All right, so it's halftime now. Any dude darker than KC, any dude, no, black men are using bonnets for waves and stuff. I'm gonna use what Denzel used in Training Day, a skull cap. I'm not doing that. I'll do a black skull cap, and then I'll have like a sweat, like a headband thing. If I start doing that, I'm not doing no bonnet. I just can't. I can't. I don't know why dudes do that. That's like the Jerry Curl. I don't know what's up with whatever. But yeah. So this is this chick. Just so you know, this is the So yeah, she is. She's very light bright. So this is, you know.
She emotionally manipulated him, and guess what he did? Gave in and said, if that makes you uncomfortable, I won't do it. Reassures her, speaks life into her. Hey, you don't have to worry about that. You know, I do find Soul pretty. You know, and I would explore it, but I would rather be with you. Here's Zach telling Anaya that KC has never talked behind her back, and that everything that she's saying, he said to the fellas. He's never said nothing negative about her. While Anaya was exploring with Corbin, while she was trying to get with Sincere, while Melanie was with him, while she was trying to talk to Sean, while she was interested in Carl.
Sincere is the light-skinned dude. This is Sincere. Basically, typical light skin stare. I hate. Typically, yeah, I didn't do the do rag either, but I don't know what's with this bonnet. Typical light skin. I hate to say it, but typical light skin nigga shit. I hate to say it. I hate to say it like that. You know. Yeah. Yeah, basically she could have been on but yeah, this is it. So this is what it is. This is what he's talking about.
Interrupt KC's chat with Soul.
And Carl is white.
Oh wait, Anaya, but I thought y'all were open and that there's nothing wrong. So why are you stopping him from chatting with Soul? The grandma comment being clearly.
And now you see why I'm talking about this, because a lot of stuff I have told you. The control, it's about control. It's about control. It's not about it's about controlling him. He is the third string. He is her Shedeur Sanders. He is her third string quarterback. If me playing these color games, these interracial dating fantasy games don't work, because motherfuckers wasn't picking her. It was really KC that picked her. But KC, like a man, moved on when she was tripping. And told her she was moving on. So this is not a dude. So when people be trying to say, oh, he's an incel, no, he's not. He's not. He's not an incel or red pill, because he wouldn't got with another black one if he was. You know, like as quickly as he did. So it's certain things, like actually dude is like more purple blue pill than purple red pill, honestly.
Edited to make KC seem like he was saying that she's a grandma because they didn't get physically intimate. They were clearly talking about how she goes to sleep. And what he was referencing as far as that intimacy is them cuddling. She kisses Carl and all this stuff, but I can't even get the cuddles. This is what he was saying. Bryce lies on him to Trinity, talking about that he was hating on them as a couple, when all he said that.
This is the chick I was talking shit about. The skinny chick that got a body for white dudes.
Bryce almost explored something when he hasn't explored anybody. He stayed with Anaya. Anaya has no idea of the only thing she's aware of at this point in this picture is that KC had a chat with Soul. That's it. This was her.
And keep in mind, this chick, so the women will talk about this, will say KC touch is his love language. Holding hands, that sort of thing. And he actually shows that with the TT chick and all that. And she kind of picked up on that. The other black chick that he ended up, like, he's dealing with. Yo, this chick, when it's white men, yo, people will say this. Yo, shout out to Marty. Talk about how these chicks be in Brazil. This is exactly what this is. These be like mediocre white dudes. Not saying all these white dudes on this show is mediocre, but these be like mediocre white dudes. And these women are different people. KC is not a mediocre black man. KC, if you look at the nigga, you be like, yeah, you would not question if that nigga gets hoes. If he came up here and he started talking, you would not ask, do you get him? You wouldn't do that. Let's be real. Like, let's be real. We know the niggas that, okay, I can see him getting bitches. He got a college degree. He's starting out as a CNA and all of that. That's where he's starting. That's his starting point. And again, mediocre white dude. Like these chicks be projecting. That's what I'm talking about.
Response to that. Being open with Carl. He rubbing all on her ass and whatnot. So after all the arguments, after you consistently, you telling Corbin that y'all open and you...
This is literally like a thriller horror show. Like for real. Like for real. They should call it Divested. Like for real.
Kissing on him. After you telling Carl that you're open and you don't worry about what KC does, and you kissing all on him and rubbing all on him. After trying to get with Sincere.
And the thing about it is, if KC wasn't on this show, if they would have got rid of him too, because apparently they're mad because he stayed on the show because people voted for him to stay, because he actually there are black women that do back him. It's kind of like a DDG situation. So women can't just roll with he's a man, the lies don't work because you got too many other women countering this. Yo, Megan Thee Stallion literally came on this show to host an episode talking about he was being disrespectful. And again, it's the Megan Thee Stallion Young Miami contingent.
After trying to get with Sean, you upset that he brought a girl back? After all those arguments that you had, after emotionally manipulating him, and he actually gave...
I mean, people talk about the light-skinned, dark-skinned beef. You know, you say it's stupid, but there's a lot of dudes that don't think it's stupid. Like, like, understand that everywhere else in the world, like black people are only organized here the way that they're organized. Black people are not organized anywhere else this way. Like, light-skinned people would be a different group. Everywhere else on the planet. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but to say it's stupid, like one thing I will say is that denialism isn't going to work, because if people decide to do something, they're not going to announce it to you. They're just going to do it. And people are just going to do it on the low. And that denialism is something that people shouldn't watch out for, because understand, people would say it's stupid, but a lot of times, a lot of black people tend to watch light-skinned people a lot harder. Light-skinned dudes a lot harder than they tend to watch like dark-skinned dudes at Coon. And it's because it's that natural, like, you could do this bullshit. So people can say it's stupid all they want to. Just like I can say racism is stupid. Doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. You can think it's stupid, it still affects you.
Into manipulation because he didn't want you to feel bad, and he's a villain? You want to know why they cling to that disrespectful notion so much? Because it's the only thing that they can say without actually expounding on the point. If you tell them, well, hey, tell us what he did disrespectful, the worst thing that they say is they misconstrued the reason why he called her a grandma. She's kissing on Carl, fucking with Carl, telling all these other dudes that she's...
Disney Channel Shades Love Island USA's KC, a whole channel page. I want you to think about that.
Open, but won't even cuddle with him. And it's not like he said it to her. He just wanted her to be more affectionate with him the same way Trinity wanted Bryce to be more affectionate with her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's how it is in the Caribbean. That's how it is in the Caribbean. You saying South, like you saying Africa, but North Africa is like that. You talking about sub-Saharan Africa. That's it. Everywhere else, it's like that. There's darker people everywhere. There's darker people in Thailand. There's darker people in China. There's darker people in Philippines. Hell, there was black people in Japan. There's darker people everywhere. A lot of them just don't exist no more. So yeah, shit. Even Liberia. So I can even poke holes in Africa. But Africa, everybody's black. So that's the one exception. I'm talking about outside of that, the Middle East. India, that's 1.5 billion right there. So no, you pointed in the one sections where it's not like that.
I hate when y'all do this, bro.
Yeah. What's up, Compassionate Callus? Yeah. And it's a lot worse than it is here. Okay. Oh yeah, for Compassionate Callus, just wanted to show you.
What are you standing for? Dead ass. I was sitting up there, I was fucking crying, I fucking left her, ran over, and what did you do? You stood up there and you fucking laughed. Like, no. What the fuck are you standing up for? Like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah, that's crazy. She would not do that. Like, it's like you lost your mind. And it's kind of like, you know, somebody would be like, yo, somebody gonna put your hands on it. And then I would tell her straight up, somebody's gonna put their hands on you playing like that, and then I'm gonna have to get involved. So you're gonna inconvenience me. Why? Because you wanna say that. So this is somebody I didn't agree with.
At her family's foundation, Casey is Anaya works at her family's foundation. Casey is a CNA. You know, she never brought that up and like held it against him.
So why would you hold it against him? Like, okay, so this is a typical. I don't know. If she looks like a typical swirler, right? Typical swirler, typical chick that wants to swirl and then use class as a way of justifying that, which is interesting because black men can't do that. Black men aren't allowed to do that. Because quite frankly, I could show you any dude that's like the child of an NBA player. Then by that definition, you shouldn't have nothing to say. You shouldn't have had nothing to say to Brunson about that because he got with somebody equally yoked, right? But see, that's never an excuse. The thing is with Anaya is the daughter of an NBA player. Like, give me 1 second. All right, so this is Anaya's dad. You know, he was drafted in 2000 and he had exactly. And he had a decent career. We're not even going to hate. He ended up playing basketball overseas. Had about a 10-year career, which is respectable. And, you know, kept his money. You know, typical NBA player that's not like a star, stuff like that, right? And this the foundation that they work for. It's a good foundation. I think it does a lot of stuff for black people, blah, blah, blah. She works for that foundation. And that's what she's talking about. So she's talking about she had a silver spoon in her mouth, and because KC is from LA, got a college. KC is college educated. So to sit here and try to act like, oh, he's just in this lower class, but so this justifies you dealing with white people. Like this is the shit that kills me with that bullshit. And it's like, okay, she never held it against them. So what is she supposed to do? So she's supposed to be a fucking bitch? She's supposed to be an elitist? Because I promise you, if black men are like that with black women, y'all gonna have all the problem in the world. You treat others how you need to be treated. Like, it's not like Anaya is paying for anything when it comes to KC. It's a dating show. And truth be told, Anaya is probably a higher class than all of them white boys. And sincere. She's not doing that. So what are we talking about?
Nothing wrong with it, but he does. And that's the only thing that he was thinking about.
That's not what he was thinking about. That's you're projecting.
While they were interacting every
You're projecting. He's never mentioned that.
single time.
He's never mentioned that. You're projecting. That's that black men are intimidated by me. And it's not anything she's done. That's projection.
You know? And it's sad. And it's sad. And also, I don't know, high key triggering. I was in a very similar situation.
What the fuck did I just say? What the fuck did I've never seen this video. I saved it, but as soon as she was on bullshit, I was like, I don't even want to hear this shit. What did I say? What did I say?
Embarrassingly enough, a very, very similar situation a couple of years ago, you know? And it's hard.
What did I say? First of all, why aren't you dating somebody? If you're in a situation like that, that means you're attracted to who you're dating. Why are you not dating somebody equally yoked? That's your see. If you're gonna speak like this, then there's a responsibility you have to date with somebody you're equally yoked. Or if you can't get nobody, be by yourself. Or if you're not gonna be by yourself, then you need to. It's not hard to respect people. See, she is straight up reject. She is straight up projecting, yo. I told you she was projecting.
as a Black woman in particular,
Oh, here we go.
dating within your race, outside of your socioeconomic status, healthily. Healthily. That's the key word. I'm not saying that can't be done, but I'm saying
First of all, it's not. Why are you acting like women when they say healthily? What the fuck does that mean? So, because let's keep it real, dudes in your socioeconomic status, you don't have leverage because you're a Black woman. If you're like, if you deal with somebody that actually comes from money, then they have you. Here's the dynamic: they can always date down. They can always date down. And don't let them be attractive to women. They can always date down. Look at like Diddy's son. You don't have no leverage because you come from something. Because you come from something, it's just automatic. That doesn't mean anything because that's why you even. Because here's the thing: if you wouldn't have, and this idea, there's just not a whole bunch of dudes. That's cap too. It's just these chicks want to play with hood dudes, and then y'all want to talk about healthily. Like it's just stuff they want to do to justify being a victim. You shouldn't be like. Here's the thing: dudes are not mad about women not dating below their socioeconomic status. Here's where the problem becomes: you can't then say, "Well, I date white people because I date people in my status." Okay, cool. You can't say nothing about Black men doing that then. Well, no, because no, no, no. No, because it's not always about money. Status is not always about money. There's plumbers and stuff that make 100 grand and people that make more. There's influencers that make more money. But if they don't come from a certain network, then you got an issue. Okay. But and Black women know they don't have the leverage to pull that play. They know that. So what they do is they play these games like they want to guilt you into you only dealing with them, but they want to be able to deal with who they want to deal with. And she's just trying to talk you through. At the end of the day, regardless of what your status and where you come from, again, I'm not trying to be look, you got weave in your head, your forehead is already there. That tells me a lot. Look, let's just keep it real. Yes, you are working at a deficit. Y'all the ones talking about colorism, and it doesn't fucking matter that you sound like a white girl. It doesn't matter that you have that cadence. Black, like the truth is, other races of men. The reality is, if they're in your status, then they're already lined up. Because truth be told, a lot of these groups line these dudes up. Before they get older, they know how to do it. It's only Black people where Black women want to do this thing where they want to explore and do all this other bullshit.
it is difficult to do in a healthy way. I think as a man, you have to be very secure in yourself, had to have worked on yourself and your healing is a CNA. I'm not saying that.
The problem is you keep saying healing. So this is bitch babble. Because Black men aren't just brought up broken. It's like, okay, well, if you come from, like, for instance, DDG comes from a middle class background, but DDG was a valedictorian. DDG made his own money. He's a self-made dude. So who's the one that's fucked up in that relationship? It was Halle Bailey, who came, her family's middle class too, but she got the Disney pool. So it wasn't even like she came, they're technically in the same class. She's just more famous. That's it. That's it. Look at Sky Jackson, who Sky Jackson had a kid with. That's not a different class.
It can't be done, but I'm saying it is difficult to do in a healthy way. I think as a man, you have to be very secure in yourself, had to have worked on yourself and your healing to be in a relationship with a woman who has the upper hand on you on something.
A woman, again, this is pure projection. If we're going to talk about an upper hand, meaning you have, number one, that's white men that have that problem. Black men don't typically have that problem because we're always operating from that in some kind of way or another. Maybe not with the woman, but in some kind of way. So when you look at Anaya, at the end of the day, you're not really establishing what Casey did. And they never do because he didn't do anything, which is why you got a lot of women actually defending him. what Anaya expected is for KC to not talk to anybody else on a dating show until Anaya exhausted all her options. That's what she expected. All this bullshit about, well, he could do this, but how he said it. No, he did tell her straight up, Dick, you need to explore. I'm gonna explore. That's what he said, because KC knows Anaya wasn't he wasn't Anaya's first choice. And so that's really it's no complicated than that. They try to make it more complicated to try to fit that shit in. And even other women are calling foul on that play, and it's driving women crazy. And so she's coming in here from this, oh, I come from money, my daddy or my mommy did something, not what she did. And they have an advantage. Well, what do you mean what advantage? Okay, looks, okay, that's a given, right? And the question is, honestly, can you replace him or can he replace you? And a lot of times that's not an advantage. You talk about money. You talk about money, your daddy's money. Okay, a man is going to be a man and make his own money regardless. So what y'all don't understand is take a Travis Kelce, for example. Travis Kelce is worth like 30, like 40, 50 million, $60 million on his own. Is that 2 billion? No. But he's still worth more. He's still in the top 10%, top 1%. Who you think? I'm gonna keep it real. Travis Kelce can easily get another Taylor Swift minus the money easier than she can get another him, where not only does it look the part in where she is now, but he has his own money to the point where he could like probably sign a prenup. What are we talking about? So it's like he has his own fans and all of that. Is it at the scale that she has? No. But Taylor doesn't. Taylor can't find nobody else closer.
You know,
look at Kayla Nicole and look at the situation she's in.
Particularly when it comes to like money and background and financial stability.
But the reality of the situation is nobody's asking you if you all want to play this. Let's be very clear here. You all date men that's below your socioeconomic status because you are attracted to them. That is the only reason. Let's be very clear with that. And with that being said, those dudes have the sexual advantage because you want them. Most dudes are not sweating. Most dudes don't need women for resources. So this idea of a relationship and all of this, it don't matter to men like that. The difference is you all want men to fit in your box and be in your program, and that's not how men are wired. So you call this like being broken and being immature. But bitch, you're the one without the nigga. You're the one without the white boy. Because if you could get what you wanted, you would never date down in the first place. That's the thing, like economically, you wouldn't do that. Anyway, this chick annoying me because it's that, you know.
These people are in their 20s. You know, they're in their 20s.
That's another thing. So you talking about niggas are broken and shit when he's in his 20s. I think he's handled himself very well on this show. He hasn't like spazzed the fuck out or anything. Anaya has multiple times. Those chicks are not acting like black women that come from money. They're acting, she has like a hood bitch streak. And she wasn't born in that. And by the way, who she's dealing with, these are not people that are necessarily on the same class level as her, but they're white. She's not dating based on class. And by the way, she's that dude Carl was she's not dating based on class, she's dating based on race. Anyway.
Black women whose current partners on Love Island are not black ganging up on a black man, sit the fuck down. Because this man only chose black women. And if I'm being...
This chick be trying to sneak stuff in. And I be getting like, cause she be trying to sneak it in. She come off nice and she's all right, but she be trying to sneak BS in. It be stuff, they be like, yeah, you need to run that by your dude.
Honest, he chose a black woman the first time. And Anaya, you didn't. Wasn't you behind sincere door, racially ambiguous door? Couldn't Sincere tell y'all black ass to shut up and you shut up? I'm not talking to you and you shut up. But Casey is being respectful, standing up, screaming, and y'all not listening. I'm irritated. And Trinity, I know your ass be around black people, so I don't know who the fuck you feeling like with this white man behind you and you want to talk crazy to a black man. You do not talk to Bryce ass like that. Hi.
Yeah, they're gonna be talking mad shit, man. They're gonna be talking mad shit. Damn. I hope not, but it's like Canada, then Mexico, then us. We just got knocked.
Hey,
Just like,
yeah, you know, I just want you to be a little more affectionate. And like, I don't know if you like me. Like, this little voice you got when you talking to that black man when you talking to that white man, you had that same little voice when you talking to that black man. Because if a black man was doing that shit, if I seen a black man on a TV, two black men on TV picking white women.
and by the way, this chick sounds good. She sounds nice and all that, and she probably is. But she be having some takes that be on some bullshit too. Sometimes it don't be like, okay, I can't deal with you no more at all. But it do be on some. So this is what I mean with these chicks are calling it out
Over and over again, or picking non-black people over and over again, and then he got his black ass up and started talking to black women crazy. I would ask him, because who the fuck is you feeling like? So I'm gonna ask y'all black ass, who the fuck is y'all feeling like? Because as black people, no. Y'all should know fucking better. I give Anaya a little leeway because I could tell she wasn't raised by two. She wasn't around two. For some reason, I feel like she was like black in suburbia. And I was a black girl in suburbia. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
the problem is white people are white people, man. And I've been around white people enough to know that like that black and suburbia bullshit is absolute bullshit. Because if you're around white people enough, you see it, you hear it. I don't care if you're in the north, if you're in the west coast, you hear it. You did make these people mad and disagree with them, and they will fucking show you. So when these motherfuckers act like they came from the womb all the way to adulthood, and it's like they ain't never had no issues with white people, you're lying. Yeah, I see the 3-1.
she wasn't surrounded by a lot of black people socially. But Trinity, I think you was. So I don't know. I don't know who the fuck y'all feeling like. Kata's mom is white. Bitches is acting different. Y'all giving her a double standard when Zach fucked her and went on and couldn't wait to talk to that other girl who was saying nigga. It's a lot of bullshit going on. So
this is not bullshit. This is the shit black women typically do. This is what we've been telling y'all. This is they're moving how we keep saying is going on, and y'all just keep taking up for these chicks lying. This is Lori Harvey bullshit. This is probably Lori Harvey fucking Michael B. Jordan bullshit.
If we're gonna wake it up, let's wake it up. Y'all cannot keep jumping on a black man that keeps choosing black women over and over again. When he was exploring, they were black.
I told you it don't fucking matter if you date black women. Did I not tell y'all niggas that shit? It don't fucking matter. It's never mattered. It is never mattered. It is never mattered. That is just some shit these bitches be saying. That is some shit these bitches be saying. It has never mattered. I keep telling y'all. That is some shit they just say. They don't care.
When he was exploring, they were black. Trinity sent 2 black men home. I don't know race. Ronnie had a little biracial, and I don't know from what. He was giving me biracial. But you sent 2 black men home to be up Bryce's white ass, and he don't even like women. Do you get what I'm saying? Is this a safe space? Because I'm just finna say how I really feel. Y'all can cancel me if y'all want to. I'm finna go. Oh, actually, you know what? I've been being too nice. I'm finna go off. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me too. I'm Danielle to you. The link to my podcast is in my bio. You should listen to it.
To try and intimidate these women and try and intimidate Anaya, I know what you are. One thing I'm happy though is that Anaya stood her ground. She said, sit down. She got up. She was like, you want to be tall? I can be tall too.
Trying to intimidate. Some of you people are genuinely tapped.
Is he standing up to try and intimidate these women and try and intimidate Anaya? I know what you are.
I'm telling, and I'm gonna tell you, man. I keep telling y'all, women like this are dangerous because these women can and will lie. They will lie to make their reality real. I'm telling you, So she said, I know what you are. Like, you just be beating up women and doing all. They live in a, by the way, this bitch hasn't experienced that. Like, I can already tell. Like, a lot of these chicks don't even be interacting with men enough to be experiencing what the fuck they be talking about. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
One thing I'm happy though is that Anaya stood her ground. She said, sit down. She got up. She was like, you want to be tall? I can be tall too.
If a man, let's be very clear here for you dumbasses. Not you, but this chick. If a man is willing to raise up on a female, a man is not going to shrivel up if a woman tries to raise up on him. If a man is willing to raise up over a female like he's going to do something, men don't do that unless they're willing to do it. If that was his intention, he's first of all, you got to really think about it. And this is how a lot of these women, they don't know men. They don't know men. Yeah. Well, you know, I lived in the hood. I lived in adjacent to the hood, and then I lived in suburbia as well. So I know both sides of it. But if a man is willing to raise up on you with the intention of intimidation, as a woman, you need to understand. Like what I would tell my cousins, you need to understand that man is willing to execute on what he's talking about. Because there's an option dudes have when a woman is running her mouth, unless he's in an enclosed space where he can't leave. And even then, he could pull over, whatever. He is going to leave that conversation. He is going to, I mean, he may argue with you. He may go back and forth if that's what he wants to do. Or he's going to do what she's talking about. If a man, number one, statistics already show that women initiate physical contact. That, like, so that's that. And it shows in gay men have the least amount of violence in their relationships. Gay women have the most. So that all that stuff bores out. If his intention of raising up on her, which he didn't raise up on her, he just stood up. And I explained why he did that. And she knows this, by the way, but she just hates men. So these women's perception are completely different based on how they feel about men because they're ruled by their emotions. If his intention was to raise up on you, he wouldn't have sat down. The dude he's not going to raise up on you because if he was being aggressive with you like that, in his mind, he understands that he's being aggressive on a TV show with black and non-black people present that are watching. He knows what Love Island is. He knows what he's doing. If that was his intention, he would. It's just like when you pull out your gun. If you pull out a gun and you don't have intention to shoot somebody, let's say the clip, there's no clip, there's no bullet in there. You still pulled out your gun. That can still be like attempted murder and shit, or a threat or something severe. You know this. Even if you legally have it, you know this. You know the act has a consequence even if nothing happens. For example, I go back to Carmelo. Carmelo said, watch and see what happens. That was the warning. Why didn't he show the knife? Because he knew he was going to be expelled if he showed the knife. If he showed the knife, he's expelled, which wasn't the point. The point was to get him to back off. Now, he should have had mace. And obviously, you know, I stand with Carmelo, but my point is, that's why he didn't show the knife. We can look back and quarterback it 50-50. It's hindsight. It's hindsight. Exactly. Brandishing a firearm. That is a very severe, you know, penalty. Right? Men understand that. Unless you're dealing with men with low impulse control, where men with low impulse control are not gonna intimidate you. They're gonna come to you. They may do that, and as soon as they think you about to do something, they're gonna put their hands on you. Because that's really what they want to do. Blueface has been Blueface, like dudes with no impulse control, or if you put a dude with low impulse control in a situation where they got to do something, they go do something. That's the problem. These dudes are raised by single mothers. I don't know why these dudes people are acting like they weren't. Honestly, you can tell his mother's influence is in KC by how KC is moving. Even something about what KC said was like, yeah, man, you know, TT reminds me of home. And now all these women saying your mama black, now all of a sudden they gonna say, what's wrong with you saying that? It's crazy. And again, women have been pointing this out. I got other videos. I don't feel like just getting them. And so my point is, when you look, this is a femcel right here. This is a woman that's angry because she's light skinned. She's the worst kind of feminist. She's a light skinned chick. They can't really get what she want. The niggas that she get are really low tier niggas. They may be tall and skinny, but at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about her because she's a dime a dozen. She's a 4. She's a dime a dozen. A big bitch that thinks she's something a little bit better than the average bear because she's light skinned. Niggas are like, yeah, I'll fuck on that, but it is what it is. And they get mad because they're, why you love me? Why is because you ain't shit either. He ain't shit, you ain't shit. I used to see it all the time. Exactly. Aggravated assault. So the reality is them niggas don't give a fuck. Them niggas don't give a fuck. They don't care. The niggas like that don't care. So if his intention, if he would have knew, if he was raising up with that type of intention in his own internal clock, he knows what he's doing. On a TV show with cameras, that's not how dudes operate. So for you to have that, that's you projecting that onto it. Like men that beat women don't intimidate women. Men that beat women don't because men that beat, it's just like killing somebody. The more you kill people, the easier it gets on your psyche. That's why they call them serial killers. Hitting women, the more you hit women, it's kind of a similar concept. Like seriously, how would you know? Get the fuck out of here. It's the same concept. So niggas that hit women are not, they're not in the business of intimidating women. Because if you bring it there, they typically know you're not gonna back down if you're black. So they just gonna go, they at the very least gonna grab you and let you feel that power and see what you do. They're not gonna, they at best they may just grab you in the arm. That's what you see, that's when you can say, oh, you one of them ones. Yes, that's when I agree. But him getting in her face and doing all that, no, that's what women do to men. Let's keep it real. Most men think it's pussy to raise up on a woman like that. So the dudes that are willing to do that are willing to put their hands on them. So that's how, see, women be playing this shit in their own head based on scenarios they haven't dealt with. And brother sister shit don't count. They're talking about stuff they haven't never experienced. So they make assumptions about what a dude might do. They make assumptions about what a dude might do, and they just go with this because it becomes emotionally encoded. Let's put
Trying to intimidate. Some of you people are genuinely tapped. You are genuinely tapped. Look at we can roll the tape. It's right there. He's literally backing up in it. Does that look like someone who's trying to intimidate the women? When Anaya stood up as well, he literally sat down straight away because he didn't want to escalate it further. Because, look, should he have stood up in the first place? No. But it was a heated conversation and he got heated. It happens. Anaya literally stood over him and talked down to him, shouting at him. That is unacceptable. And again, I'd like to flip it, right? If a man did that to a woman,
that's obvious. I don't need to play that. Let me see what is
conversation while we're at it. I only feel comfortable saying this because I see a lot of women handing the double standards that was shown last night at movie night, right? The guys are able to articulate their.
So notice how he said, and this dude is usually cool. He's usually cool, but he said, but he's a purple pill dude. I'm only comfortable saying this because the women said it. What did I tell you? He said, gotta get some more barbers in the UK. Shit, fuck the UK. The UK is not a fun place.
There's a double standard between Casey and Anaya right now going on. The girls hear it, they look dumbfounded and say, I would back her up again. That is the pure definition of the blind leading the blind, aka I'm a girl's girl in that situation. Like I said, I'm only okay with bringing this up because other women are calling it out on this app, right? Now wait for it. The guy sees Sincere's clip, the one they showed. All of them said, this looks bad. All of their faces show that he's screwed. No one justifies it. No one says, oh, a guy's gonna... Nobody says nothing like that. They sit quiet and they let him try to justify or explain it for himself. Do you see how when the girls sit up there and try to get on Casey, you got them all. You got Kata, you got Trinity, you got all these people.
Yeah, they was literally catcalling the dude. They literally arguing as a group, hollering at this dude, all of this stuff.
But yet, these the same group of girls trying to understand why there's other men trying to defend the men of Casey when he did nothing wrong. He was disrespectful. The one disrespectful comment y'all been trying to bring up is grandma, and she laughed it off.
Because that's a racial dog whistle. It needs to be called out. It needs to be called out with that. He called her grandma because she likes to go to sleep early. This is a 23-year-old. Now remember how these women always talk about a person's brain ain't developed fully until they 25? Like that's nothing. This is a Z. That's nothing. Oh, so you a grandma, huh? Blah blah blah. What? Are you serious? If that would have been a white man, or like white man saying that, you would have never responded that way. But see, that's called grasping at straws. Because that's what they've been saying. And again, people keep saying, well, you talk about this show. This is fake. Let's say it is. How these women are reacting to what they're seeing isn't. The television may be fake, but the comments aren't. So these are real emotions these women are having. And there's other videos I have. I really wanted to show you, but I'm not going to do that. But the reality is that you got. Oh, I know what you're saying. I finally caught that shit on the barbers in the UK thing.
Hey, what do we know?
That's what I'm talking about. And again, niggas like him be trying to talk about it on both sides, but I'm like, it's not a both sides argument. It's not a both sides thing. Like these dudes, what did he say? Man, I'm only comfortable talking about this because the women are calling it out. No, well, right is right. You mean to tell me you know that the market is good for you to talk about this, and it's not gonna mess up your female following. That's what you're saying. Now, I've seen him speak truth to power more than not. He has a very good ratio about that, so I'm not gonna jump on him too bad. But he said it out of his own mouth. Yeah, man, I feel comfortable. That's what I'm saying, man. And the thing about it is, just like that Insecure show, and this is a lot more intensely than that. It's being more intensely watched. The reality is, man, this is what we were fucking talking about. So now that a lot of these women are 30 and all of that, now that they're 30, now that they're like, it's like, stop feeling guilt. Because what's the point of this? Stop feeling guilty for like when these bitches are down bad. A lot of these chicks done had good dudes. They done had dudes come through. They may not have knew what the dude was working with because dudes ain't really supposed to put everything out there. But they done had dudes come through. They want to be mad. They want to be upset. They want to be angry. Because they're and project that on a black dude. All this stuff that Casey got to go through to deal with one black bitch. I want you to think about all the shit he's going through with this one bitch. Now, granted, the other chick, TT, has been pretty good, but I want you to think about that. No, nobody would tolerate that type of crap, man. I want you to think about that. And Anaya is not ugly, but like you can tell, like it's like these women that are color coded. That's the y'all getting mad about who men choose. Black men are not treating black women that way. And if you can legit show me a situation where you're being treated like that, my question is, why are you still there? That's my question. Why are you still there? Because ain't nobody telling you, there's nobody that says you should stay with a nigga. That's my question. Niggas are not treating them like that. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, man. Fucking, this bitch is like way too much. For what? For what? All because you're insecure as fuck because you can't get it's like fucking chihuahuas. If they can't get the white boys that they want, They already talking shit. They already talking shit. The headlines are these niggers, god damn it, these blacks. We die, these blacks, it's all the black people. They already act like they about to come with it. Anyway. These black people, oh my god. He said, nah, I think he dates black women. Because they would have said something. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, it does look like USA's about to lose this. Anyway, I don't care. At least Michael got $1 billion. Trump might need to make another call. Well, you know, LA Fitness, yeah, because they got LA Fitness. They got LA Fitness out here too. Nah, fuck that. They don't be having no basketball court. Like here, we got Lifetime Fitness. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I mean, that chick was showing her whole ass. I'm gonna tell you. I told you before. I'm gonna tell you again. If they show her a montage of her being stupid, she'll start crying. Oh my god, I didn't know I was being like that. Oh my god, I just didn't know. I didn't know. Yes, you did. Yo, made me want to ask her dad. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with your daughter, yo? Because your daughter clearly don't like black men. And don't tell me it's because she got her heart broken shit. That sounds like she was raised like that. This bitch from Georgia. And they went, it's about class. No, it's not. That shit is clearly about color. That shit is clearly about color. That shit ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, we got Gold's Gyms out here too. We got a lot of different. I mean, obviously Planet Fitness too. But obviously the ones too for people that don't want to be, they'll pay 100, 150. They don't want to be in a gym with nobody. Yeah, it's like, what is that? What is that? Like, for real. What is that? And that needs to be called out. She's a colorist. And all these little code words these black women be doing, this racial dog whistle language, people don't need to stand for it. And when you look at like the NDIRE situation, the situation with NDIRE, there's clearly something wrong with a lot. Now, obviously, those are different chicks, but we come to hood bitches, all this stuff. It's like, okay, if you want to play that suburban, I just deal with white people game, then deal with that. But black people, I keep saying, black people are not going to be black men are not going to be your second option. That's no, you deal with that, and then don't and stay your black ass over there. Kayla Nicole, same thing. Stay your ass over there. Be by yourself, hoping and wishing on the star that a white man will pick you. Because I'm telling you right now, with Kayla moving, Kayla gonna be one of these 35-year-olds getting with a 40. I'm gonna tell you right now where Kayla's future is. Kayla's future is she's gonna get with like a 45, like between 45 and 50-year-old, probably like 46, 47. Euro at 35, 36, somebody 10 years older than her, that clearly you can tell she ain't there for looks, but he won't be like the most hideous thing in the world, but you can tell she ain't there for looks. And then she gonna try to make that shit seem like something it ain't. She gonna say, oh, see, I divested and I won. This chick done wasted 4 years of her life. Kayla Nicole is not an ugly chick. She wasted 4 years of her, and she ain't dark like that. She wasted 4 years of her life after Travis Kelce. Like, you can train Travis Kelce to get in your 30s. You can't blame Travis for you wasting your 30s. Literally, this chick from the time she dated Travis at 26 years old to 34, she only been associated with one motherfucker. And this chick is imprinted like that. That has everything to do with race. And the thing is, when you see people that operates that way, if you were to see a black man that operates that way, we would have no mercy for him. We would not feel sorry for him. We would not give a fuck about what his situation is, what his background is. You would hope that the worst would happen. I gave y'all an hour and 45 minutes, so be happy. Be happy. Yes. I appreciate and thank Mr. Miller for that. Let me see if anybody with the cash apps. All right. Again, shout out to this sponsored by Jared Miller. As far as that Bree situation, this is what I'll say about that, at least briefly. This is what I'll say about that briefly. You're 21 years old with a whole bunch of money in Miami. That's a dangerous combination because you look like a lick. And you thinking you were going to be a female and thinking nobody was going to, like, that's the worst. That's one of the worst. Like, Chicago is one of the worst places to be and have money, especially when it's like that and they know who you are and they can eyeball you if they see you. And you like just a skinny mini at 21 years old that's got all this money. I mean, it ain't the men you got to worry about. Hell, the women are going definitely not going to care about coming to get you. He said Belgium needs some freedom. Belgium already got. That's crazy. So you got that story. Shout out to the person that mentioned it in the chat for last stream. But it's Pink Book did a good video about it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but you know, when you dealing with these people that don't care, I mean, that's the thing about South Florida. That's where a lot of money and no money meet. Is that's South Florida is not that different than the third world in that way, where they can come get you. In fact, they got a lot more access to you here than they do in the third world. So you a skinny mini, 21 years old, and I'm not blaming her obviously at all, but I'm just saying like her and I gotta believe her parents were smart enough to know what type of situation she was in with the money. But you know, these chicks can't be told shit. And you can't and again, she's 21, she got money, you can't really what you gonna say? You can verbally tell her what to do, but you have no real authority to make her do nothing. If you physically restrain her, you're kidnapping her. She's got her own money, so she can live by herself. She's dumb, so she's gonna think, you know, because I got money, nobody's gonna do nothing to me. So really, you just gotta raise them right and hope they're smart, and hope they get to an old enough state where they can actually do something. They get up to an old enough state where they actually can yeah. And she got like a neon green Lamborghini is easy to tell. I mean, she's not thinking about this because in her mind she's a girl, nobody's gonna do nothing for her to her even though she's in Miami. Like honestly, she's got to look like a child, straight up. She's got that look. She's a very small female, and it's like, yo, you need bodyguards. And I mean people that's got it on them. And even then, that's not gonna be enough because if think about it, somebody just willing because you ain't got no armor piercing thing. And the thing is, she was too loud. Like she literally got money. They literally got money jumping up in the air. You living like what you see on Instagram with money flying up in the air. Like, what is the point of doing that? Oh my God, we got money in the air. Oh my God, we got money. Like, what's the point of doing that? And you dealing like especially an area with Miami where like the difference between the haves and have nots in a consumerist society. But obviously I say this as a 39-year-old. She's 21. I can tell you right now, even I got a younger brother that's 30. If my younger brother had the kind of money he is, all you can do is have a good relationship with them and be like, yo, I need you to do this. And my brother has been actually very good, but my brother gets caught up here without with like over a zip and a half and stupid stuff like that. But he don't get caught up like that. He's done a very good job for the most part, but he does dumb stuff. But that's all you can do. You can't make them do shit. Like, you know, when they get, especially they got money like that, you literally have no control over them other than the control that they're giving you based on the fact that you raised them. And the truth is, when these women are so ruled by their emotions, they're so ruled by their emotions. Oh, this is horrible. They said USA caught the Trump curse. I may do a thing like this called the Trump curse. Yeah, Georgia is. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. These chicks be having a color complex. And the thing is, and that's why I keep saying, because black men be allowing them to let them feel guilty, talking about, oh, yeah. I'm like, no, these chicks are projecting. Y'all are listening to these chicks like it's something you're doing. No, they're projecting. These women are projecting. And when you understand that, it's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I know what I think. Y'all be allowing women to actually put feelings into y'all. Go, damn, maybe I am fucked up because, she's saying I'm fucked up. Even KC sitting there, I apologize. The way I was moving wasn't right, and blah blah blah. Hey, nigga, that's not true. We all saw how you was moving. You was like, okay, the way you was moving wasn't right. Cool. What was the right path for you to move to not be a bitch ass nigga? Well, no. You're saying you're being a bitch ass nigga, so I'm assuming you know how to not be a bitch ass nigga, unless you just a bitch ass nigga and that's just who you are. No, man. Okay, then. So what did you do? How could you have not been a bitch ass nigga? Because apparently he apologized. Because I think Anaya apologized. And so I think he did it so it wasn't looking like, he's one of these, you could tell, oh man, you could tell he's a woman. He's one of these apologize when you not wrong niggas. I'm going to tell you, that's something my mom hated about me. If I wasn't wrong, I didn't apologize. I let that shit ride. I'm like, cool, you can come back to me when you calm your ass down. I'm not about to apologize for you being mad at me for something I didn't do or something that you wanted to misinterpret. I don't do that. Apologize, bitch. Shut up. You just gonna be mad, and if it come down to it, you don't need to be here. Then I don't do that. But that wasn't the apology he did. He did the apologize because I think she apologized, so he didn't want her to be by her. So I'm like, nah, man, you gotta because she don't take the lesson away from her. The fact that them white folks told her she need to apologize should tell you already that what she did was out of pocket. Well, man, if I wasn't to stand up, well, why did you stand up? Did you stand up when it intimidate her? No, man. Okay. What are we talking about? But again, you see these dynamics, and younger dudes are not tolerating that shit no more. Dudes are not like dudes that are like me, like that are going into that age where they're in that like middle, prime, that middle age where motherfuckers got leverage. We're not putting up with that. We're not about to play the game. Dudes would rather not be with a chick or play the field, do whatever. You see what Cameron doing? Like, ain't nobody about to sit here and put up with that bullshit. Y'all talk about niggas always beating up on you. Okay, well, I'm not gonna put myself in an enclosed box where your emotions are gonna put me in a position where I might have to do something because you wilding out and you stressing me the fuck out. We're not doing that. I'm living by myself and I'm good living by myself with my 3 bedrooms, and you fucking do whatever the fuck you need to do, suck dick, do whatever you got to do, bitch 3 days after the first of the month, 3 days before the first of the month, and bitch on the 15th because I know that car notice due. Y'all mad because y'all got a fucking old ass nigga or somebody that y'all don't want to deal with because yo broke ass, because y'all don't know how to keep y'all money. Yeah, you can miss me with that. Anyway, y'all, much appreciated. Yeah, let's see. Is it over? Is it over? Yeah, it's about to be over. Yo, first of all, I don't know soccer, but I do know this is bad. How do you only have 6 shots, 2 on target? So basically, you got half of the ones that's on target, and you had the ball 57% of the time. This is so stupid. Yeah, y'all was playing scared. This does look like you was playing scared. Yeah, it's you know what it almost feels like the fact that he was. I'm gonna keep it real with you. This is what I think should have happened. What I think should have happened, and this was never gonna happen. But what I think should have happened is he shouldn't have played. He shouldn't have played like the first half. He shouldn't have played like the first half. and then he should have came in on the second half. I think them setting a whole game plan around him not being there, and then he was injected. I think that disrupted like their headspace. And Belgium was not that kind of team where they needed to disrupt their headspace. I think they it's like, yeah, we gotta play him because he's our number one scorer. But at the same time, it threw everything off. Here, I know this niggas haven't kicked in. Yeah, I'm guilt tripping y'all. I appreciate it. I mean, people donate where they donate. I don't be on that. I let y'all know this shit is there, but I do this because I want to do it first and foremost. But I appreciate your $10. It's definitely going to a good place. So, yeah. So it is what it is. It all works out in the end, man. It all works out in the end. Yeah, and even Sincere, these are college educated dudes. Like, these are not like, again, and when you see how these women, oh my God. Yo, they gonna talk so much shit, yo. They gonna talk so much shit. They gonna talk so much. Thank God I don't give a fuck about soccer. I don't care. Carolina Hurricanes won the Hockey Stanley Cup in Raleigh. So, I'm good. I'll take them. This is Nigerian. Be like, these are not FBAs. I'm gonna hear this on. I might not even play 99.9 because I'm gonna hear them talk so much shit. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done watching it. At this point, I don't care. Yeah. And by the way, for all the black women, for all the people to be like on the light skin, dark skin shit too, for all the black people to be acting like black women aren't colorists, you're seeing it right here. You're seeing it right here. Because KC is not a dude that can't get hoe. You're seeing it right here. You're seeing it right here. And quite frankly, that soul chick actually liked KC for real, and she got sent home. And they tried to gang up on KC and send him home. That's really what it is. It really is what it is. And these bitches, the past of this show, these bitches stay bitching about colorism. These bitches are losers. I'm talking about like the fans. And this show absolutely proved that black women, I told you before, I'm going to tell you again, they're upset that they can't exercise colorism on the way. They think they're on the wrong side of that. That's what they're really mad about. That's what they're really mad about. It ain't got nothing to do. It ain't got nothing to do with the shit they be talking. At this point, I just hope Argentina don't win. That's who I'm rooting. I don't care who wins. I'm rooting against Argentina. Yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. It's called being a woman. They don't operate in logic. They just don't. So anyway, y'all, I'm about to end this. This FIFA shit was fun. Maybe we'll run it back in the Olympics 2 years from now. But damn, all the host countries got knocked out. England beat Mexico. We lost against Belgium. Canada got waxed. I mean, I think we lost. I think England beat Mexico 3-0. We lost 3-1. He said, "What I think about the Sony." I mean, I'd say we the majority population. We need to make something happen about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that on the one hand, it's a big game. On the one hand, I'm sure it's a big game. Let's see. Hold on one second. Somebody's talking shit. Yeah. I mean, it is a lot of this shit. So this is what I'm gonna say, man. One of the reasons I get so frustrated about the white boys is because the white boys are majority population, and a lot of this racial shit is dumb as fuck. But a lot of these CEOs, like real talk. I mean, if you want to ask my personal opinion, this is gonna sound very socialistic, but a lot of these CEOs need to have their wealth liquidated. A lot of these CEOs need to go through antitrust court. That's never gonna happen under Trump, and I don't know who is gonna be elected out of the current crop of politicians. Newsom's not gonna be that guy. Um, um, Newsom's not going to be that guy. Shapiro's not going to be that guy. Nobody in the Republic's going to be that guy. There's so many things that are going on with the big tournament, with the big these acquisitions. We're in, and the problem is the millennials know, but they don't know. No, right? They even the shit is so fucked up, and the problem is white men are literally and I'm not just talking about them as a group. I'm talking about them. I'm not saying that I'm talking about them, even the higher ones. Because here's the thing: the higher tier white boys, like the top 10% of white boys, are going to be in the best position to actually get a lot of the wealth when the wealth actually transfers. See, this is what white men think. What white men think is once boomers finally die, and here's the crazy part about it: boomers, the silent generation, is 83 to 99. So, I mean, boomers are not going to die in like the richer you are, generally, the longer you're probably going to live because you got the best medical and all of that. So, boomers are not going to, the boomers that actually would transfer their wealth are actually not going to die for a while. You're going to be like 60 when they actually die. You're not going to be like, young and spry. You're going to literally be them by the time they actually really start to kick the can. And that's if that's the case, right? So, I mean, let's be real about that. So, a lot of people and a lot of this money is in these corporations. So a lot of the wealth has been concentrated. So the problem is white men are holding out for some shit that's probably not going to come like that. And then when it comes, it's not going to come like they think that it is. And then when you look at how much more stuff costs, because where the dollar's going to be, where China's going to be, where the global south is going to be, things are going to start to get more expensive on the lower end because people are being stupid. Stuff is cheap now, or your ability to make work, right? And a lot and the difference, and this has actually never been a greater time for black men because white men are entitled. Is this every white man? No, but most of them are entitled. They have a certain sentiment of entitlement that black men don't have. There's reasons black men don't have it, but black men don't have, which makes us very adaptable. A lot of white boys are not adaptable because they have a very small string of how they're supposed to operate. And when that doesn't work, this is why they've been like the number one group to off themselves. How are white people the number one group to off themselves in a country made for them? Because they have this idea that they're supposed to be a certain type of way. Also, this also works against them because they actually lean heavily into the rich. They actually see themselves in that because it looks like them. And because they're dealing with other races, they want to be on the winning team, and they see that as the winning team. Now, if you're talking about Ireland and the UK, that's different because it's nothing but white people. When it was like that, that's why you got stuff like the IRA, because they didn't have no other to basically, lump the Irish in as like the police force for the others. They were the others, and you see how they respond to that terrorism. You see how they respond to that. You see how they respond in Bosnia and Eastern Europe, all of that. When they don't have an other, that's why they actually low-key need black people. So that being said, going all the way back to your question with the CEO, with the CEO, like all this stuff with the gaming, these motherfuckers don't really like to put together good products. It's not that much different than movies. You have some products here or there, Stellar Blade, but Stellar Blade wasn't made in the US. Obviously, GTA kind of evolved into that. Shout out to Rockstar, Gears of War, Epic's is local, Fortnite. But the reality is, just like with movies and just like with stuff, they want to use these things as social engineering tactics. They're clearly willing to lose the money, and clearly the investors are willing to let them lose the money. These CEOs don't have to be accountable. People don't have to be accountable. Like, for instance, James Gunn losing this amount of money, if he has another bad movie, he should be on the chopping block. But then again, you should have never made James Gunn that had a DC like that anyway. James Gunn was never Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige has so much more vast experience than James Gunn. Kevin Feige goes all the way back to the original X-Men. Kevin Feige was never James Gunn was never Kevin Feige. I'd say James Gunn could have been on the level of the Russo brothers, because the Russo brothers is kind of one note as well. But the thing about it is, what the Russo brothers do can translate into different genres, I think, better. But the Russo brothers are not James Wan. They just happen to shepherd a ship. So going back to like, and I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a minute. I got the Xbox S series. Honestly, I've never pulled up Street Fighter. I pulled up Street Fighter one time, and I didn't even get past the beginning because I bought Street Fighter. Street Fighter actually came out the day my mom. If you go look up when Street Fighter launched, Street Fighter actually launched the day my mom died. And so before I found my mom, I actually went and picked it up. And then I wanted to say, what's up, more problem about it, how, and that's where I found her. So I can't like bring myself to bring up like actually pull up Street Fighter, even though I have it downloaded on my Xbox. So, that was a good game, but Capcom is Japanese. I mean, we could have so much good shit, man. I mean, the X-Men 97 is proof we could have so much good shit. Boondocks, we could have so much good content, so much good quality with the technology, and the stuff would be cost effective. The problem is they're using these things, they're using media as social engineering tools. They're not even made, you can't tell me they made Supergirl for females. Barbie was made for females. A lot of this stuff they're not making for women. And it's the same thing with the games. Even when you look at Resident Evil was a good game. When you look at Resident Evil and you know, the Ashcroft, I forget what her name is, Grace Ashcroft, and then you got Leon Kennedy, and you got women gushing over Leon, the developers. But when it comes to the women, they want to make sure these women are ugly. You're doing that and you're hurting sales. Nobody's asking these people to be like bimbos and stuff, but you're doing that on purpose. And then you wonder why you're not selling things. People, but the way these corporations are owned, they can kind of get away with that with who owns market share. Going back to Xbox and PlayStation, it's just like when they have these games. The good news is GTA isn't going anywhere. So it's like, oh, I want a physical game. Well, why do you want a physical game? What's gonna really happen? Like GTA is the one game you could get away with doing that, because why do you really need a physical game? Because GTA is already GTA is going to exist. I mean, GTA 5 existed for 15 years. GTA isn't going anywhere. You don't have to worry about those servers going down. But and if they make it so you can't play it for free, well, you can sue. You can have a class action lawsuit if it really has to go down that way. But the issue is that it sets a precedent for them to launch smaller games, and when those games aren't running, then they will sit here and then they will be like, oh, okay, we're going to turn this off. And yeah, you played. When you play a game, I don't play it temporarily. You're not buying a lease. And that's what they're trying to change it to. And what it ultimately comes down to is, this may seem small, it may seem unimportant, but this is like one of those small things that a lot of people can kind of get around without it being too controversial. This is where, like, real talk, you need to talk to your congressman. You need to talk to your congressman. You need to talk to your senators. You need to let them, well, first of all, fuck all that. You need to put younger people in office. Put younger people in office first that are around our age or in our age group. And at least they remember when fucking Atari or Nintendo. So those would be Xers. If you're talking about senators, and if you're talking about congressmen, they need to be younger. The average age of Congress needs to be much, 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 much younger. It needs to go much younger. And then stuff like this may seem petty, but this is not really this is not a right-left situation. This should be one of the easier things to get done. And you should tell these corporations, this is what we want. We want y'all to maintain these servers, and people will invest in those servers being maintained, because it's kind of like you got all these data servers. You're putting all these data servers around for AI. You don't have none of these data servers available for keeping these games online, these old games online. Oh, well, no, fuck all that. Because y'all, you see, that's the game. And this is where the Europeans tend to be a lot better. This is where the Europeans tend to be a lot better than us on it. Because these white dudes don't want to go up against these white corporations. They don't want to go up against these white corporations. My bad. That's crazy. They don't want to go up against these white corporations, and because they see them as white, so they give them a lot more latitude than what they should. Here's a funny thing. This is not a flattering picture. When you look at this picture, this is actually not a flattering picture. For her to be talking all that kind of shit. My daddy played in the NBA and I work for their foundation. Okay, that don't mean you automatically, that don't, like, when it comes to athletics, that don't automatically mean like you in this class. Like, get the fuck out of here. Well, I mean, the thing about it is these new kids, again, this is why I always talk about generations over and over and over again, because these new kids aren't, and the problem too is these young motherfuckers, they don't see it as big of a deal. They don't see it as big of a deal like we do. We take it a lot more seriously than they take it. And it's kind of like, okay, well, that's not on us. Western Europe does have more balls to go against. That's why that's the one thing I'll give them. Even Apple, the reason why you have the USB-C on the iPhone 15, 16, 17, and now 18 is because of Europe. It's because I forget the body for Europe for regulation, the EU, they told Apple, you're not selling another model iPhone with that damn lightning cable. You can kiss my ass. And Apple couldn't do anything. This is low-key why Apple, like a lot of these corporations, have a love-hate relationship with Donald Trump, because on the one hand, they can't stand Donald Trump. But on the other hand, from a business standpoint, it's good for business for him to be antagonistic, at least short-term, to be antagonistic towards Europe. Because what it does is a lot of these corporations can kind of, move their weight around on these Europeans when it comes to stuff like that. Europe actually told Apple, you can't only have the App Store on the iPhone. You have to make it so third parties can have the App Store on that. And that's because, again, white people don't have this thing. They have this other thing. But they still don't see corporations as a representation of them, because their relationship with the government is very different than ours, because they have all these micro nations. They have these nation states versus, the United States is basically, 50 states and blah, blah, blah within one country. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that we could do, a lot of fun stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, but you can't tell these white boys this, because these white boys can't get the big black cock out their mouth. Everything that's all their problems when they keep talking about black fatigue and this, it's really because a lot of these white boys aren't getting bitches. The white boys on that show is not a representation of the average white boys. They're not getting bitches. They don't have money, and they want to blame black people for that. That's it. That's it. Everything they say online, when it comes to them constantly coming at black men, it is only because of that reason. Whatever white women are starting to flex on them, saying stuff they don't like, and at the end of the day, they blame black men for that. They think any white woman that is defying white men, has to have a secret black lover. Fuck the fact that white women are the largest demographic. Black men are only 6% of the population. White women are 30% of the total population. And all women who identify as white would make it 37%. Black men are 6.7% of the population. White women are 5 times larger than black men. And in some statistics, 6 times larger as a population than black men. We're not even talking about other races. We talk about white women and white women that identify as white. It is literally, it's 99 to 100 million white females. It is 21 to 23 million black males. I want you to understand that. I want you to really sit with what the fuck I just said. And by the way, Clutch and people like Clutch count in the black side according to the census. So they're not counting mixed people. So if we talk about like, and I mean, I'm light skinned obviously, but we talk about like black, like, you know, the black men that they're talking about, they're not really talking about Clutch when they talk about the BBC. They're talking about darker, dreaded out black men. Like seriously. It's mathematically, if every black man had a white girlfriend, it is mathematically impossible. That's not even putting a real dent, into white men's options. The only issue it would be is if black men were vying for the best white women, which, by the way, for the most part, is not happening like that. Not necessarily saying we're getting the scraps, but we're not necessarily, because black men and white men, other than some exceptions, don't even like the same kind of women. But people don't think about that. And so when you hear these people talk about black men so much, it's they don't, a lot of these people don't even interact with black men like that. So when they talk about it, they're talking about it like black men are like I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up. I'm gonna prove it to you. I will prove it to you. Ask any white man face up. That way you know they're not looking it up. Ask any white man whether they're racist or whether they're doing a microaggressions or whatever. Ask them, hey, what percentage? 2 questions. Ask them. I got 2 questions for you. No judgment. And it's not a gotcha question. Well, you said no, it's not a gotcha question. It's not a question you're not going to be comfortable answering. And you can let me know. Okay. I got a question. What percentage of the population do you think are black people? You can say black men and black women. Don't get it to just black men, because that might. And I promise you, they're going to say, you're going to be thinking 14, 15%. They might say 30% of the United States. They might say 30%. It's just like when I asked y'all what percentage of men do you think are 6 feet, and y'all was like 30, 40%. It's just like that. Because that, and I'm gonna keep it real. If they say a high number, that's how you know black people, because that's how you that's actually a red flag. If they say a high number, that's a red flag, especially if you know they mean it. Ask them, okay, what percentage? This is a funner question. What percentage of the what now? Most people don't know this. What percentage of the planet is Asian? And Indians from India count as Asian. They'll say like 30, 40%. When in actuality, it's 59%. It's perception. They generally, like, I'm not saying all of them will do that, but I think you'll be surprised. If you would ask 10 white people that, white men in particular, I think you would be surprised. I wish they would ask that on whatever show, and you can't look it up. I'm going to ask you, and I want you to answer in 5 seconds. Are you ready? What percentage do you think black people are in the United States? 1, 2, and give them like 10 seconds. Just something so they know they're not looking it up. And it's going to be higher. It's not going to be 10%. It's going to be like 15 to like 20. It's going to be like 20% because they see black people on TV too much. Yeah, because, you know, Trump basically getting in the way of that and doing all that. You know, they don't like Trump. It's gonna be like dudes hitting me in the Discord talking shit, and I was like, dude, I don't even care. anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, dude talking shit. Yeah, man. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck about soccer like that. Like I don't. Anyway, sorry about the coughing, man. I need to get some more cough drops. I gave a damn about European football soccer. I knew Belgium would eat. I don't know about that. I personally think what happened with the game is them bringing him back and bringing him in kind of messed him up. I know a dude in a Discord I deal with on different stuff, but this is one thing they're talking about. He said, "Well, soccer had to change their game plan." Not really. They had the same game plan whether he was there or not. They had the same game plan. It was just like what they could look at. It wasn't the same. And I'm not making an excuse at all. But at the end of the day, I mean, we got to we've come farther than we generally have gotten. And so, it is what it is. The next one is in Spain, Morocco, and Portugal, the next World Cup. And then the next hold on. Fair enough. Something affecting the tempo. No, I mean, hey, they got beat. They got beat bad. There's no way. I'm not gonna sit here and say that 4-4-0-4-1 is like that shit would have made the difference. No, they lost. The USA lost. USA lost. I mean, let's be very real. The dude that was the number one scorer for Team USA is a Nigerian Brit that has American citizenship because they didn't let his mother leave when he was born. And that's the dude that pretty much was riding high. So again, the goal here was I guess to make soccer more popular in the US. And honestly, it changes the story with Trump interfering like that. I didn't care, but I didn't think that call was a good call in the first place. So I saw it, and I'm gonna keep it real. There's a lot of racial bullshit. I mean, that's been known, but when you see that with FIFA and the goofy shit they do, FIFA is clearly like it's not the same. They're not as sophisticated. Obviously, they run a lot of tournaments, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna take that away from them, but 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 they when it comes to like sensitive situations like this, it's very obvious they're pay to play. It's very obvious. It's very obvious they're pay to play. It's very obvious. Like a lot of them players, like Senegal, no, them players of France was getting hacked by Paraguay. Like I said, man, a lot of these motherfuckers are pieces of shit. And I'm not even talking about Belgium. I'm talking about like even the dude they got the card. They want to give red cards to certain people. I mean, these average. It's very clear that these motherfuckers be just getting. You think it's bad here, they be getting done up. They really do because they don't have the same. It's not the same kind of dynamics, and if we were to get more involved with soccer, that wouldn't happen because we can actually deploy very real consequences to doing that dumb shit. So it is what it is. Yeah. And so, yeah. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, man, going back to the video game thing, it just is what it is, man. You know, all you can do is advocate for you, advocate for, put it out there, put it out there. But like one thing you realize is like they pretty much raised like a whole generation that don't know shit. And when I say don't know shit, I mean they literally undereducated and miseducated this generation. Like I'm talking about the group. Disease have certain belief systems that are built on false beliefs. And they hold on to those false beliefs and they're gonna hold on to them harder as things get bad. Like again, it's mathematically they're literally blaming black people, black men for their population going down. And their population is going down because of them. It's white men's fault. Like, cause even in Europe, their sperm count is very low. That has nothing to do with black. It ain't even that many black men in Europe like that. It's the Muslims that are fucking the white women as far as count. But see, people don't want to talk about that, and so at the end of the day, the best thing you can do, the best thing the black men can do as a group, as well as individually, is learn how to get their place in this global marketplace. Our population is relatively on the smaller end. We are a good sized population, and from a class standpoint, we really need to kind of get it together. But unfortunately, again, we're in a matriarchy. We're in a matriarchy under white supremacy. The women are on some crash out stuff, and the only way you can really deal with that is letting them know you're gonna let them fall under the cracks. You will allow them to fall under the cracks, and then all the bitching and crying they do is gonna be for naught. All the bitching and crying that they're gonna do all the bitching and crying that they think they're gonna do it's just it's gonna not be heard. It's not on some okay, um, you know, I hear you and I'm no, it's not gonna be heard. You're gonna be ignored. And I see Kai once again talk about apologizing to move on. I see Kai's on here issuing an apology to Gigi, talk about the way he handled it was immature. But you know what? I can kind of see why he would say that. But just come up there and act like it didn't happen. But let's keep it real. Gigi didn't fuck with you like that. Gigi, you was a stepping stone to her. You was a way for her to get access to the dudes that she really wanted. This chick really prefers lighter skinned dudes. And you can say all that, but he's doing the politically thing in order to look better. Oh God, I hate seeing that. They're taking domestic flights. That's they already got it up. DDG said men that watch Love Island by themselves might be bisexual. Dude, if you don't shut your whole ass up. I'm a DDG fan and I approve this message. Period. Exactly. Period. As if Love Island got ugly bitches on there. Like, yeah, that was a voice message. Yeah, dude sitting there, you might be bisexual, but again, that's him rage baiting. That's him rage baiting. Now you won't hear DDG say that stupid shit about females because he needs his female audience to be on his side. DDG is clearly one of them niggas that think he's above the program, and that's all good. But just remember, dude, you went through a horror show, and just remember, nigga, you got to ask for permission to see your kid. Nigga, you make. Let's be clear here. DDG is worth probably like $6 million, $6, $7, $8 million, maybe even 10, and you got to ask for permission to see your son. I want you to think about that for a second when you call another nigga bisexual because they watch a show. Regardless of what the show is. Nigga, you are a millionaire. Nigga, you are in the 1%. You DDG in order to be in the 1%, you gotta make like $85,000 a month. DDG makes well over that. Like, I think DDG might double that. And you gotta ask the white man to adjust your schedule to see your child, your first son. You might want to shut the fuck up. And you know I'm a DDG fan. Exactly. DDG do got a lot of black female fans. I'm not gonna act like he don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But DDG was getting bitches. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. DDG be getting hoes. So I'm not gonna act like DDG do get hoes. DDG got some of the best rosters in the game. He's up there with Joe Budden. So I can't hate on that. Oh, I mean, I don't watch Love Island either. I don't watch Love Island. All the stuff I told you about the show is stuff I gathered on clips and hearing other dudes talk about it and women on TikTok and social media. Just like how I don't watch Insecure. I don't watch Insecure. But at the end of the day, man, this thing labeling men gay and bisexual, like niggas gonna get like again, you'll say that on a damn thing. Obviously, there's dudes that it is what it is. But this comfort if we got calling niggas gay, because hey, if we can call niggas gay, I should be able to freely call a woman a bitch. I promise you, they act like it more. I won't say his son is castrated, but like real talk, let's just keep that real. You got kids, you got a son by a mom that number one didn't want to have him unless you was gonna stay in a relationship. So that's already bullshit. And number two, had a gun, according to DDG, had a gun while he was holding the baby, had a loaded gun. You literally got a Jordan Peele fucking Thriller movie. And you sitting here saying some goofy shit like that, DDG really act like he can't get clown. Nigga, nobody gives a fuck about you got money, you got this. Nigga, with all that money, nigga, you still got to ask for permission to see your fucking son. So what does that mean? That don't mean shit. All the money you got and somehow you still in the same fucking situation as the average nigga when it comes to your kid. You could have had a kid with anybody else and basically be able to pay their life out and then be able to do what you want to do. Let's keep it real. He said the U.S. soccer fans are speaking in code. Lots of DBs, wide receivers, and point guards who could be playing soccer. The play-by-play model doesn't work. The pay-to-play model doesn't work. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out for the $5. Yeah, man. Christian be keeping it real. A lot of the information I be giving on the sports, some of the sports stuff, a lot of that stuff be coming from him. So he knows what he's talking about on that. Definitely does. He said US soccer fans are speaking in code. Lots of DBs, wide receivers, and point guards who could be playing soccer. The pay-to-play model doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, if the US really wanted to say, you know what, we're gonna be like the shit in this shit, we absolutely could make that happen in like 10 very quickly. The truth is, people don't care about soccer like that. And quite frankly, with the MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, hell, even Ultimate Fighting, UFC, and boxing shit. I mean, it's like you got to really push. And obviously soccer has a fan base for it, but you have that resistance. So yeah, I hit you up on the voice note, but it is what it is. I personally think it threw them off. I personally think it threw them off that he was not in, he was in. And by the way, I'm seeing Monica, all these women that want to support. Yeah, I get it, man. People want to support Young Miami to show how much they support Young Miami, how much they support Young Miami and all this BS. I get all that. I get all that. But just understand when y'all start crying, crying about when y'all deal with certain niggas, what y'all deal with, I'm just gonna play that song. I'm just gonna play the hook. And that's gonna be my response. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you with this FIFA Cup though, if for anybody that's paid even casual attention, you get to see how racist a lot of these people are. That's why I'm like, yo, we need to go down the list and be like, yo, are we giving any of these countries money? And if we are, fuck that US aid. Kill that shit. All these countries that like to talk this goofy ass shit, especially if they not European, fuck them. I'm still hella. I told you, I'm hella mad that Trump gave 50 billion to Argentina, and he didn't even give a loan. He just gave them the money. It's like, yo, and Congress are proud to approve. There's no way he could just give that on his own. I'm like, yo, they want to be European, but they can't keep their country in order. No, let them be a failed state. Yes, he was. But she's not male centered. Find some military brat Batman raised in Europe, have Michael B. Jordan swagger, and are willing to play soccer. We all sport. I mean, the reality of the situation is, if Americans really care about soccer, we got the stadiums, we got the training, we got all that. We could pay people to come over here and do that. They don't. We don't. I mean, I got dudes trying to talk crap and hear about Trump and do all this. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I mean, I said good game. They played a good game. They executed. I'm not mad at Belgium. I ain't got no issue with Belgium. They executed. They did what they had to do. We didn't. But that, he shouldn't have got that card. But whatever. I'm not gonna make excuses about that. I said wait till the Olympics. Oh, the Olympics are just 23 and under. Okay, but a lot of the same countries be winning. He was. She was threatening a girl online, but they ignore that. Again, selective situational ethics. I didn't put UFC up with the top three. It didn't do that. But yeah, situational ethics. We know people are full of shit. They get on here, and that's why I be like, y'all people be. It gets to a certain shit where I don't even like to argue with a lot of these chicks, a lot of this stuff, because really the game, social media is entertainment. A lot of this stuff ain't real people trying to have real conversations. It's entertainment. People are not saying what they think is right. They're saying what's going to get engagement, and they're presenting it a certain way in order to get engagement because that's where the money comes from. Even if they don't believe what they're saying, it's a game to them. It's not real. And the more people to get on social media as these generations come up, right, the more they're absorbing that, especially by somebody they trust, and it's complete bullshit. But anyway, y'all, I've definitely given y'all a lot of time. We're almost at 3 hours. Much appreciated. And with that said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.